Hello, Morim here. In today's video I'll be sharing my Magic Nuke Wizard build in Baldur's Gate 3 that utilizes Magic Missile to obliterate everything in your path. Usually a build like this will come online relatively late. We are a wizard, a spellcaster, limited by our spell slots, but due to specific items you get early on, you actually perform really well throughout the whole campaign. Magic Missile has a 100% chance to hit, can be upcast for even more projectiles, scales with your int, and apply specific on-hit effects, letting it scale really well. But you also gain access to the whole repertoire of the wizard class, letting you CC and burst down groups of enemies without any issues. However, there are some drawbacks. First, you need to long rest a lot. You do not restore anything on a short rest except your health, which makes it impossible to conserve resources. You need to use the environment and other party members in a smart way to get through the game, especially on tactician mode. But like I said, once you get online, you are unstoppable. The might of magic, a nuke waiting to be unleashed, and it's very fun to play. With the introduction of the build out of the way, let's have a look at the starting ability score as well as level progression. As for the ability score, we go with a 8, 16, 14, 16, 12 and 8 lineup. Later on you will get access to the hack here, so we take out 2 points in wisdom and put this one into intelligence, so we can boost intelligence to 18 without an ASI. Ability score improvement. As for the skill proficiencies, we go with Arcana and Investigation. As for the cantrips, we go with Firebolt, Dancing Lights and Ray of Frost. As for the spells we're going to pick, at level 1 we go with Mage Armor. We're going to use a rope at first, so having an additional 13 armor class plus the dexterity modifier is going to come in huge. We then pick up Fog Cloud. Fog Cloud can be used as a CC versus ranged enemies and forces them to either walk into you or back into a room so they cannot attack you. It's a really nice CC spell, especially early on. Enhanced Leap will triple your jump distance and it can be cast as a ritual spell, so you don't need a spell slot to actually use this one. An alternative to this one is Long Strider. Long Strider will give you free movement speed and can be cast as a ritual spell, so both of them are valid. Shield is an extremely powerful reaction. When someone attacks you, you get a message that they hit, for example, for 17. Your armor class is 15, so you can use this one to boost your armor class to a higher level, which in turn makes the enemy miss. The next one is going to be Thunder Wave. Thunder Wave can be used to push enemies down a chasm or away from you. It's a really strong CC spell, especially early on. Their damage is just something on top. And Magic Missile. This one is going to be your bread and butter. Each Magic Missile has its own intelligence scaling. This means a 1d4 plus your intelligence modifier 3 times. When you upcast this one to level 2, it's 4 magic darts. And each of those magic darts has the ability to proc specific effects. Our whole build is based around this fact. Once we reach level 6, we're going to respec with this exact setup. But instead we're going to pick one level in Fighter. Once we are this far into the game, we can equip heavy armor that's better than the robes we are having, and we don't need to use our mage armor anymore. You also get proficiency in constitution saving throws. Constitution saving throws need to be passed whenever you are attacked and you are currently concentrating on a spell. Meaning if you cast haste on yourself and someone attacks you, you need to pass this concentration saving throw, otherwise haste is going to disappear from your character and it's going to stun you. Very unpleasant. With the proficiency, you're going to most likely not drop that haste and enjoy the extra action. This means once you respec, you will have access to other proficiencies for your skills. For one, we are going with History this time and Acrobatics. Down below in the comments, you will have a path that explains what you're currently doing. Again, you're going 5 levels into Wizard. At level 6, you're going to respec with first level Fighter, 5 level Wizard. You're going to level as a Wizard because it's stronger and better. Then you're going to respec to gain access to heavy armor proficiency and constitution saving throws because you get access to haste. That's very important. This means the previously explained Wizard level 1 is going to apply to this level. Level 2 once you reach level 6. Now the next level is going to be a Wizard level. We're going to pick up the Evocation specialization, the subclass, and 2 new spells. Those spells include Long Strider and Protection from Good and Evil. Both are very, very strong. At the 3rd level with the Wizard, we now get access to level 2 spell slots. Those spell slots can be used with your Magic Missile because you can upcast your Magic Missile. However, you also get access to really strong spells, like for example Invisibility and Knock. During extended AoE combat fights, you will want to pick up Cloud of Daggers. However, you can learn the spell through a scroll very early on in the game. Just check every vendor and when you find this one, learn it. You can do this for every single spell here. Another very good option for single target damage is going to be Scorching Ray, giving you fire damage. However, Magic Missile is at this point just superior. Remember, this spell needs to hit a target. Magic Missile guarantees the hit. At the 4th level with the wizard, we're going to pick up Shocking Grasp. We now are character level 5, which scales up our cantrips to additional Ds, so additional dice. If you have not picked up the scrolls, you can learn Cloud of Daggers and Scorching Ray. And for the feat, with the hack, you're going to increase your intelligence to 20. If you do not have the boon from the hack, you're going to increase your intelligence to 18. Wizards at level 5 get access to Fireball as well as Haste, both of which are extremely strong for this build. Remember, Fireball deals a massive hit to AoE. This one is going to be always better than Magic Missile in AoE fights. Haste is going to give you an additional action, so you can cast 2 spells per turn. Another very strong spell is going to be Lightning Bolt. You can also find Hypnotic Pattern, which can stun and basically disable a huge amount of enemies. Counterspell can also be learned at this point and is also a very strong option. But for now, Fireball and Haste it is. So at this point, like I said, Lightning Bolt is a very strong spell, same with Hypnotic Pattern, both of which provide you with either damage or a very strong CC. Wizards at level 6 also get a subclass feature, so Potent Cantrip will improve your cantrips. At level 7 with the wizard, we also get access to extremely strong spells. I personally really like Ice Storm. Ice Storm is going to give you a massive area of effect. It's going to deal bludgeoning damage and cold damage and create an area where enemies need to cross and can potentially slip. Another very strong spell at this point is going to be Greater Invisibility. But if you didn't find Counterspell, I would highly advise to go with Counterspell. We are now at wizard level 8. This means we get access to another feat. This feat can be the ability improvement to 20 intelligence if you do not have the hack here. If you didn't use it, if you didn't align with the hack. But if you did and you are currently at 20 intelligence, you're going to search for Dual Wield. Dual Wield will allow you to use 2 staffs, 2 quarterstaffs or a sword and a quarterstaffs with this character, which allows for some really nice combos. As for the spells, we can go with Banishment, a very strong single target CC, and Greater Invisibility if you do not have this one, or Dimension Door to gain access to a very strong movement ability. At level 9 with the wizard, we get access to level 5 spells. Cone of Cold is extremely good, and I would highly advise you to pick this one. Cold Monster is also very strong, but basically every single spell in this lineup is going to change the game for you. At level 10, we're going to pick another level in Wizard. This time we get Empowered Evocation. Our intelligence modifier, which should be at level 20 now, is going to provide a +5 to all our magic missiles. This means if we upcast our magic missile, we're going to shoot out 8 magic missiles, each of which will get +10 to its damage. So it's a d4 +10 8 times. This is the point where this class is going to be extremely strong. However, it's towards the end of the game. Items will help you boost your damage regardless, so you're going to have a nice transition up until this point. But after this, you're going to be a nuke. For the cantrips, Blade Ward is always good, and we can go with another spell, which we use to pick up Dominate Person and Telekinesis. And the last level, we are going to pick either a Wizard level 1 if you prefer the Wizard spells, or Action Surge if you want to double your casts. So you can use 2 magic missiles on a short rest. Now for the items. The first item is going to be Spellcrux Amulet. This one can be obtained from the Warden in the Moonrise Tower. Now, this item gives you the Spell Restoration spell, which restores a level 6 spell slot for free on a bonus action. So we now have 2 level 6 spell slots. You can also use Arcane Battery. So when we cast the spell at the 5th level or 6th level with the Magic Missile, we do not use up the spell slot. So we can cast Magic Missile 3 times as a 6th level spell, giving us 8 projectiles. This is possible through this legendary staff. This staff can be obtained in the Sorcerers and Sundries. Just go to the top floor. Afterwards, you're going to talk to a mage. Jump down a window in the lower floor. Down there, you need See Invisibility. You're going to see pedestrians at 4 corners, one of which will be labeled with below. Click on this one and you will get down to the lowest floor. There you're going to see 2 arcane domes. So you're going to save before that, and you need to pass an Arcana check with that character. So reload if you do not pass this one. There you can obtain the staff. With the staff you can use an ability which is called Kareshka's Favor. With this one you can pick an element. So for us that's going to be Bolts of Doom. Bolts of Doom will give us a resistance to lightning damage, and will add lightning damage equal to our proficiency modifier to lightning spells. That's okay. However, we are also going to generate 1 lightning charge per spell damage dealt. This means our magic missile will generate a ton of charges, which explode and deal a ton of additional damage. We can see here 1 lightning damage plus 1d8 when we reach 5 charges. This lightning damage scales with our evocation and intelligence modifiers. So we are basically doubling our damage. Next, we're going to also pick up Spellmight gloves. So when you collect all parts of Dibbles the Clown, you get those gloves. The penalty on attack rolls doesn't apply to us because we are using a 100% hit chance magic missile. So we get free 1d8 additional damage per cast. This also stacks on the lightning damage. So we are basically getting 14 additional d8. This is extremely strong. We can boost our crit chance through Savok's helmet. So when you investigate the murder mystery, you basically get this one at the end when you kill the boss. You can find the Deadshot Bow, which can be obtained right here in Stormshore Armory, which will also boost your crit chance by 1. This one applies globally, so on your magic missiles. We are going to use Coruscation Ring, which can be found underneath Last Light in a chest. So when we damage an enemy with this ring, we debuff them with Radiating Orb, which decreases their attack rolls by -1. Stacks up to 7 times and illuminates the target. This means the next time we damage them, we apply a +2 radiant damage through the Keller's Glow Ring, which can be obtained in the Gauntlet of Char. Near the Balthazar office, there is a big vault that's going to be locked. Inside is a chest with this ring. So whenever we deal damage with our magic missiles, we are also applying a 2 additional radiating damage. So we deal a ton of additional radiance damage. For the boots, go for anything that's going to boost your mobility. For the chest, go for the best heavy armor you can find. For the cloak, Cloak of Weave is really strong, can also be obtained in the sundries. If you're dual wielding, you can use Phalar Allure in the second slot, right so. So we now have our staff and the two-handed sword right here. That's going to be used in one hand because it's versatile. When we now use the spell with the melody here, Phalar's Shriek, and stand near an enemy, it's going to be a radius. All of our spells are going to deal additional 1d4 thunder damage that's going to scale the same as our magic missile, meaning a 1d8 additional damage through the gloves and up to +10 damage through other means. However, sometimes they do not stack with the lightning charges. The first 3 magic missiles build up our lightning charges, and those magic missiles do not apply the damage from the lightning charges. So you're going to see thunder damage for the first 2 and then lightning damage for the other. This means we get basically 30 damage from this one, and it regenerates on a short rest. So a very strong spell. So the sword is in the Underdark right here. Now for the amulet, Blurk, this NPC right here, will trade with you and provide you with Psychic Spark. Shoot an additional magic missile dart when you cast magic missile. This amulet upscales your magic missile by 1 all the time. So it's going to be extremely strong throughout the whole game. You can basically always use this amulet instead of the Spellcrux. It's obtained in the Mushroom Colony from this specific vendor. And early on for the staff, we're going to use the Spellsparkler. Every time we deal damage with a spell or a cantrip, we get 2 lightning charges. So the same lightning charges we get through the legendary staff. This means when we shoot our magic missile on, for example, Halsen, right so, we're going to deal that additional lightning damage right here. When we shoot our lightning bolt again, we're going to proc all of those, as you can see here. So the first 2 are not going to proc it, but afterwards every single one is going to proc it. So the actual early game of this build is going to be really strong regardless. And you can get this item in Act 1. So here's the Emerald Grove. You follow this one, Blighted Village, follow this bridge, go upwards of this bridge, turn left, and here is a mansion, a big mansion. Here is a locked door. You need to unlock this door or crash this door and save an NPC in this part of the burning building. Once they get out, they ask you if you want a Jolter, so a bow, or the Spellsparkler. Go for the Spellsparkler. This is the only way to obtain this item. It's a quest reward. Anyway, this sums up the build guide. If you liked the video, please leave a like. If you have any questions or remarks, comment down below. Don't forget to leave a sub if you haven't already. You can also join the channel membership or leave a donation if you have the spare coin. So, see you next time and bye.